everyone, welcome to Engineering Podcast. Today we have a special guest Arnav Chaudhary, who is currently working at ZR Associate, a well-known consulting firm. Good morning, Arnav bhaiya. We are super excited to have you here.
Good morning, good morning. How are you doing?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm also doing good.
So, without wasting any time, let's start the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, currently I'm in ZS Associates. As you already mentioned, it's a consultancy firm, and most of the time, like our consultancy firm is focused on pharmaceutical consultancy. And apart from that, our firm is also trying to transition into tech industry as well and getting clients all over the world. We are a customer, we having a customer base of around 1 million people and across the globe, and also it's a pretty it's also like it's at par as the big fours present in the market.
So, thank you for sharing that. So, can you just share what's your journey like from college to landing a job at ZR Associate?
So as most aspirants, I was also a student who sat for the placements, and my journey started I was primarily focused on the end of the third year of my college, and from then till the fourth year mid, I was really focused. So we missed a lot of companies as there was a lot of barriers we faced, like CGPAs. We also faced barriers like recession was also on peak that time. The US elections was also on hold. So the journey was not that easy, but we kept on applying to companies. We kept on appearing into different exams of the companies, and we were we never lost hope. And that's how I and the people who got selected in ZS from VIT made into ZS.
So congratulations for selecting there.
Yeah, thank you.
So let me ask the most important question. How did you prepare for ZR's associate recruitment process?
So there was no specific strategy which I followed for ZS Associates, because there were a lot of companies coming at that point of time, but my strategy remained the same for all the companies. We applied to ZS when it came to the campus in the month of October, and slightly before Diwali, 10-15 days before Diwali, and it was having a time. We were almost into placements for 7 to 8 months. I'd already appeared for companies like Accenture, TCS, and many other different companies, but those companies exams were relatively similar to that what ZS took. So ZS took the exam, and the first 4 rounds. The first round was basically based on your aptitudes. So basically on aptitudes like mental ability, and there were patterns, and there were communication skills. Then there was an English verbal communication assessment round. So in that particular round, they basically filter you out based on they will give you, there will be an AI bot which will be giving you a paragraph, and you have to read it loud, and you have to give questions and answers back to that bot, and then just check it's going to analyze what the answers you are and how fluent you are into answering them. Most people usually crack this point of time, but after that, then there is also a small coding round. In that coding round, basically they are given 2 coding questions, and and then we were selected and called for the interview process ahead. So there were around 3 rounds total.
So the coding questions will range from medium to hard, or only medium range?
So the coding questions were pretty medium. They were not hard, they were not easy, they were all medium based. So one thing I would suggest you guys to practice, if you ZS as a company focuses on SQL, focuses on Python, focuses on AWS, Kubernetes, and all the projects you have done. So they're not really into code data structures and algorithms which you are going to learn and come. So basically your focus should be at mastering SQL, mastering database management system, mastering DBMS well enough so that you can crack the questions present in the interview. So my strategy for that was I was already doing 4 to 5 problems in Geek for Geeks as well as in Lead Code per day, but I would not suggest those are the only way you can crack this interview. So better better you should improve your skills on solving SQL queries, because in the interview they're going to ask you queries, mainly queries. So for the coding round which happened before the interview, one should focus on concepts of if depends on the role they are selecting. So say for example, my role is BTSA role. So ZS comes with two different roles. One is decision analytics associate role, another is business technology solutions associate role. So these two roles are a bit different from each other. So the DA guys are mainly hired to do jobs based on Power BI and SQL and Excel as well. So for that, they test skills based on your real-time evaluations. Say, for example, they will give you a scenario. So in our interview, there was a scenario given that there will be a scenario that tell the total number of KFCs present in this country. So you have to do guess estimates. So this type of particular problem is known as guess estimates, where they're going to give you a value or something, and then they are going to say that you have to estimate. So these are like business type, managerial type problems, which they are going to ask to students. So this was asked to DA folks. And for BTSA folks, they focused mainly in depth in SQL, mainly in depth in solving queries, mainly in depth in solving programming-based problems. And you should also be focused on solving hash maps and all those things from DSA. So for DSA, you will just be focused on arrays, strings, and hash maps. Those will be enough, because in ZS, you won't be requiring anything like that. But in general, for placements, your placement should focus on arrays, strings, and the entire DSA.
Okay. So thank you for telling us all of that. So Anubhya, I am just wondering that does having projects, internship or certifications and hackathons give an advantage in getting hired?
So when people, so in what happened in my company is like there in the interview also there were 3 rounds. So in the first round, they basically asked about you. They basically first asked about you. So that's the technical manager who is going to question you. So they are going to ask you 2 or 3 questions about yourself. They already have the resume which you have posted. So I would suggest that if your resume shows relevant internship experience, it's really important that you should have some sort of real world internship experience. It should be from a legitimate company where you have actually worked, where you have gained some knowledge, where you have worked on some different tech stack, which you can speak about for the next 2 or 3 minutes to the interviewer. Then it would be really helpful for you. Apart from that, the interview hackathons and alls are very important, but they basically are to check whether you should be able to work in a team. So those things are also important. Certifications, I would say AWS certifications would be necessary, because ZS is currently working on a lot of AWS technologies. So having an AWS certification will be edge, and machine learning certifications, AI ML based certifications. These are going to give you an edge in ZS.
Thank you, Anubhya. So, Bhaiya, can you tell me what are the major responsibility of your role, and what does a typical day look like for you at ZS Associates?
So like currently I'm like a backend engineer, and in ZS we joined as a BTSA associate, which means like we work. Their client comes with some questions, client comes with some problems, and our job is to solve those problems with the help of technology. So I'm working in a team where I am working on technologies like AWS, Kubernetes, Docker, and Python. So, and also a bit of SQL. So a lot of SQL actually, but still like my main task is to make API development. So currently I am working in a team which focuses on working with fast APIs in Python. So these are very important. And like these are like very useful for connecting the backend with the front end. So yeah, one should be knowing all this type of technologies. But as I already told, that I never knew all those things before joining the company. When you join, then you learn about those technologies, and then you get familiar with the tools, and then yeah, that's how what I typically do in ZS. Apart from that, the work life in ZS is sometimes it's a bit hectic. Like you have late nights, and like a typical day will be like the first we have a morning stand-up call at around 11, where we catch up with the team, where we discuss what's happening across the team, what are the requirements of the day. Then there's a midday session update call where we sit with both the front end and the back end team sit together and they discuss what are the requirements we have already completed and what the requirements are needed for the next steps. And in the evening, we have client catch-up calls where clients based in Europe or US, we connect with them, we tell what we have developed, and then we explain to them. So that's how a typical day looks like in ZS.
Really appreciate the insights. So, Bhaiya, would you give any advice to students who are currently preparing for their placements?
So, one single advice would be like, do not take placement as a burden, take it as a process. Enjoy this process because this is like, you will not do it every day for the rest of your life. So this is the phase where you have to put yourself under a lot of pressure. You know that the reward is going to be worth it. You have studied for 3 years in this college and now you have something where your actual skills, whatever you have studied so far, you can put it into real world. So that should be in your goal that whatever I have learned so far, I want my work to be known to the world. That's the reason, like one thing which kept me motivated throughout the process, and I would suggest my juniors also to like don't take coding as a assignment, take coding as a sport where you train yourself every single day, where you come up with a different approach, different solution, and you get better every single day. So that's what you are supposed to do at like your stage, where you must be under tremendous pressure, appearing in so many companies where a lot of companies will come, so much DSA you have to do. You know that, right, that you have to do DSA, but it's not should be like it is just DSA. It should be a bit of balance between DSA and other computer fundamental topics. So that you just don't get bored of doing one topic for a longer time. So I would suggest practice 5 to 10 problems. Take up study materials. There are a lot of study materials available across YouTube and in online sources. And yeah, there are popular YouTubers as well. As for my like DSA preparation, I watched Striver, which is Take You Forward, so which is a very famous DSA channel.
Yeah, I'm also doing that.
Yeah, that everybody around us does the same thing, and it would really help you guys. Like if you dedicatedly follow that course and the sheets, it's going to help you in the interviews and cracking the interviews as well. So yeah, placement is chill. You don't have to worry so much. Just be focused and keep solving problems.
So what role CGPA matters? Does CGPA matters in getting placement?
Yes, so like I won't say like the typical people say that CGPA does not matter. Yes, CGPA does matter because like the college from where I came, CGPA does play a very important role. So there will be competition, there will be thousands of people in your batch, and for the companies the roles are limited. Say for example, just don't get scared, but ZS took 2 interns from 3 VITs. So which is like 9,000 people gave the interview. Me, one girl, got selected as intern from VIT Bhopal, and from other colleges they only took associate roles, which is like full-time roles. So we too got like selected for interns, and the competition was very tough in our case. That's the only reason I am telling you guys that you should focus on the CGPAs. Although for ZS the CGPA of ours didn't matter that high, because if you clear the initial rounds, then it's okay. But for other companies, the CGPA does play a very important role, where if you don't have a certain point of CGPA, which is like say 8.5 to 9 or sometimes even higher than 9, then you might lose out on even appearing to those companies. So if you are a student who is in watching it from first year, second year, and your CGPA lies around 8.5-ish, then I would suggest improve your CGPA up till 9, so that you are in a safer zone, so that you can apply to most of the companies which are available and you don't lose out on opportunities. So yeah, it plays a role. Apart from that, just focus on skills. If you're good at speaking, if you're good at convincing the people who are in front of you that you do well, deserve to be in their place, then they are definitely going to hire you strongly. Chalo fir.
So thank you Arnav for sharing your precious time with us.
Yeah, it's okay, yaar. Take care, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.